Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another video. A short one today, but we do have some interesting Star Wars TV show news I thought we should explore. First of all, Fennec Shand actress Ming-Na Wen shared some photos celebrating the end of the filming for the Book of Boba Fett, and as we've seen in the past, we get some material which refers to the Book of Boba Fett Season 1, implying that there may in fact be eventually a Season 2. So that's exciting, because to me this show seems like it's going to be very interesting. I love the gritty bounty hunter side of Star Wars, so the idea that we might get several live action seasons of that in the Book of Boba Fett is very, very exciting. We also today had on Twitter some news from Jordan Mason, who's a well-known Star Wars leaker, who stated that filming for The Mandalorian Season 3 has already begun, although hinted at the fact that this may be somewhat different than we're expecting. So, and maybe instead of a Season 3 itself, it could be a tie-in movie coming out before The Mandalorian Season 3, something like that. Who knows? And a few other people on Twitter also echoed the fact that they had heard that from their sources, so take that as you will. But the main topic of discussion for today's video actually comes from Joel Aaron, who's a director of cinematography, lighting, and visual effects for the Star Wars animated series, including, of course, Star Wars The Bad Batch. On Twitter the other day, he responded to someone praising the first season of The Bad Batch by saying, "Wait till you see the back half of the season. Strap in, starting next week." So this is very interesting. Here, Joel Aaron is saying specifically that things are about to ramp up with The Bad Batch, and we're actually not even halfway through the season yet. The Bad Batch Season 1 is supposed to be 16 episodes. Next week, or this week, by the time that I'm making this video, will be episode 7 coming up on Thursday. And I mean, I think we all knew that at some point the series was going to take a more serious turn, even if it is just for an episode or an arc. This is exactly how Star Wars animated shows, except for perhaps Resistance, have operated in the past. Typically, there will be the introduction to the characters, there will be several sort of adventure arcs which focus more on character development than moving the main story forward, although I will say, when it comes to The Bad Batch, even these sort of side arcs have moved the main story, with characters like Fennec introduced, and I think each individual episode has sort of served the greater narrative more so than in the past. But then eventually, even in Season 1, you usually get the more serious episodes. In Star Wars Rebels during Season 1, we had the episodes Gathering Forces and Path of the Jedi, which took on a much more serious and somber tone than the episodes which came before, and then by the end of the season we have even more intense moments, especially with the season finale, Fire Across the Galaxy. If we look at Star Wars The Clone Wars, we actually have, in my opinion, the weakest opening season of all three shows by a decent amount, although by the end we do have more serious arcs. In particular, we have the Storm of Ryloth right at the very end, which really upped the quality of everything in Season 1, for my opinion. And midway through, we also have the Cloak of Darkness episode, which is pretty good. That's the one with Ventress in it, and I think we can just kind of see generally that early seasons of the animation show typically will have some less important episodes, with ones that move the plot insignificantly scattered through, and I think that's what we can expect with this next episode based on what Joel Aaron has said. And even if not the next episode, we're certainly on our way to probably a more action-packed back end of the season, because all the pieces are now in play. We've had an episode following the Empire. I think we'll probably get another one of those soon, like a Crosshair only episode where we catch up and see what he's doing. We've had the Bad Batch well established in their new role as mercenaries, and of course we've been introduced to Fennec Shand and her mysterious employer. Who that is, it's a little up in the air. It could be someone like a young Boba Fett, but it's probably more directly someone like the Kaminoans. We also have more and more hints at Wrecker's coming instability and the activation of his chip. We had the clearest hint last episode where he said good soldiers follow orders, which is scary for anyone who's a fan of the Clone Wars and a fan of this show. But the reason why these coming episodes and definitely the back end of the season will be much watched for anyone who's considering whether they want to follow this show is because it's at this point where the animated shows really sort of earn their status. Like the Clone Wars has a pretty crappy first season, but it's these few episodes and then the rest of the show which help give it its fan-loved status. It's hard to judge a show based on the sort of in-between episodes, some even call them filler. The real meat and potatoes comes when the plot moves forward in big ways. So if you're on the fence about The Bad Batch, if you've maybe missed an episode or two, I'm going to strongly recommend that you tune in for this next week and these next few weeks, or at least watch my reviews afterwards so you can try to figure out which episode you should watch then. But guys, that's all I have for you today. Until next time, be safe, have a good one, and of course, may the Force be with you.